Yeah! Good afternoon, all you scallywags and my nutmeggers, you conversationalists, regulars, young, old, in between, and boy, am I going to have some haters today. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC, NewsTalk 1080. I say every time, this show, fly by the seat of your pants. Just is. Just is. I don't know why, it just is. I want to also say, John Larson, what happened to you? What's wrong with you? What are you scared of? What's wrong with you? John Larson was supposed to have a press conference today, and it canceled about 15 minutes after we got there. People are saying, I should blame me. So like, do you think it was because he did? No, he didn't even know I was coming. He may have heard. He may have put a tracking device on my vehicle. Who knows? But he didn't show up. It's okay. It's all right. We had a busy morning this morning. My cohorts, my partners in crime, my homie B Money Slice Grips, Adam 12 and Mark Walsh from West Hartford, and Mark Walsh reports. We spent the morning together, and first, we took a trip on down to West Hartford to just follow up on something that's been nagging at us for the last couple of weeks. It's a question I've been asking people who have been in the room, people who have been getting these exclusives. And, you know, I've been absolutely like intense scraping and looking and trying to figure out what is this? So Mark tells me, hey, this weekend, he says, hey, listen, let's go down to Portobello. I said, okay. Now, I was under the impression the place opens at 10 o'clock. It opens at 3, 4 o'clock or whatever it is. So we decided to go down there at 10 o'clock. We were going to kind of kill two birds with one stone. We'll get down there. Maybe we'll see the owner, Seyo Called. I finally figured out how to pronounce his name. Figure we go down there, holler at him real quick, ask him some questions, one that's been nagging myself, Mark, and Adam. We'll get to that in a second. So we get down there. Mark gets there first, and he sees Seyo outside. I don't know if he's smoking a cigarette or whatever, but he's sitting out in the back. I'm not there yet. About 4 minutes away. Mark loses sight of him. He goes inside. So we knock on the door. When I finally get there, no one shows up. So I noticed that he's got a bread delivery outside that he hasn't grabbed yet. I said, okay. We grab the documents. I write a little note. Leave my telephone number. And I make it very clear. Seyo, I just want to talk to you. I need to understand why you were going to the Department of Motor Vehicles in September of 2018. I believe that this is a bigger problem with the DMV aside from you getting on the voter rolls. Give me a call, and I left him my cell phone number. So we drive off. We go to a diner that's in Hartford. It's a nice little tour that Mark gave me. I want to get the name of the restaurant correct. The little diner. In fact, I text Adam because I wanted him to meet us there. And it was a place called Mazzucato's on Franklin Avenue. And I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Nice little diner. Been around since 1978. Many of you have probably heard of it. So we get there. We sit down. Start talking. Gentleman sitting there on the other side. He hears my name. Reese gets up, talks to me. He goes, hey, are you Reese from the video I saw confronting Governor Lamont about about people of color? I'm like, yeah, that's me. Guy didn't even know I was on the radio. He said, hey, I watched your video. You're on the radio? I'm like, yeah. I didn't even know that. So apparently popularity, on the video. Thank you all. Again, I appreciate it. All right, forget all that. Then we drive down and go see Larson. Larson wants to spend $36 million to prevent sewage and other toxins from getting in the Connecticut River. I said, it's perfect. That's right up my alley. Maybe I could get him to join Senator Richard Blumenthal in the sort of DQuat argument, right? Maybe we can help out. Maybe we don't put any poisons in the water. We could get him there, and then we'll ask a question about Seyo. None of that happens. We saw Jeff. Jeff was there, one of the directors there. He said, hey, you're Reese on the radio. I was like, hey, what's up? I couldn't believe it. Like, people are noticing me all over the place. It's weird, but I love it. Thank you all. So we leave. I get to the office. I'm sitting here, getting ready. And literally, folks, an hour ago, some number pops up on my screen. I know it's an 860 number, so it's not, one of those spam calls where somebody's asking about roofing work. I pick up the phone. Hello? And a thick accent comes across the phone on the speakerphone. Hello? Hi, who's this? This is Seyo. Seyo? Seyo Called? Yes, Seyo. What? Yes, folks, he called. Sit down. Everybody relax. If you are in public office, Republican or Democrat, if you're thinking about running for office, sit down. Chill for a minute. I told you last week that we have a bigger problem with the Department of Motor Vehicles. Was I right? Of course I was. So the first question out the gate is the question I've been asking ever since last week when we got these documents. Due to the FOI, the FOIA request from the RTC, the Republican Town Committee of West Hartford. The first question I wanted to ask was this a drive only or a regular driver's license that Seyo was getting renewed? Ladies and gentlemen, we have an answer. You sitting? Okay. Seyo's had a regular driver's license since 1999. Not a drive only, folks. Seyo has had a regular driver's license since 1999. You still sitting? Gets better. Seyo has a Social Security number. Seyo has been applied for a green card for the last 10 years and still hasn't received it. That's what Seyo told me an hour ago, right on this phone, sitting right in front of me. Do we have a bigger problem, folks? Yes. Yes, we do. Seyo's always known he has not been eligible to vote. That's why he said he did not, and he knows he did not, ever registered to vote because he hadn't at any other time. Proof of that, folks, is because he's had a driver's license since 1999. He has never applied to vote. I asked, what were you doing there in 2018? Renewing my driver's license. Seyo, are you talking about a drive-only license? No, a regular driver's license. And I said, are you sure? And he says, yes, because when I first went down to get my driver's license, they were trying to get me to get the little star on my driver's license. Folks, you know what the little star is, right? It's called a real ID. And he said no. They don't have the real ID on a drive-only driver's license, do they? And Seyo has had a driver's license since before the drive-only license was ever created. Why does Seyo have a regular driver's license, ladies and gentlemen? How is Seyo not a legal citizen who can vote with a Social Security number? Something's wrong. Because my question is, how many illegals in the state of Connecticut, hell, the entire country, have legal driver's licenses? Isn't it time to audit the system here in Connecticut, folks? And again, don't take my word for it, folks. All of you reporters who know who Seyo has have had a conversation with him. Come on, go check my homework. Come on. Check my work. See whether or not I'm telling you a fib or not. Find out if I'm lying through my teeth. I had the guy on the phone. I couldn't legally record him, but I said, can I go to air with this? He says yes. So that's why I'm here. And he even said he is sick and tired of being used as a political pawn in all of this. Now, again, we've got our issues with Seyo and his legal status in the country. We can be miffed off about that. We can be. But I think we can compartmentalize this. We are dealing with a government here in Connecticut that allowed somebody like Seyo to get... Oh, let's go one step further. I forgot about this. This is important. Seyo says, and I quote, "I've been doing everything right." He says, "I wouldn't be able to open up my business if I didn't have these things." Seyo, how long has the business been open? 5 years. Well, that would be during the Biden administration now, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Seyo says, "I pay my taxes." Seyo doesn't have an ITIN. He's paying his taxes because he has a Social Security number. How is Seyo not legal? Seyo said he was picked up. Get this. The reason why he was released, I should say. The reason why he was released was because they found out that he did apply 10 years ago for a green card that he was approved for in 2017. He applied during the Obama administration. He was approved in 2017. He could not recall what time during that year. These are his words. I said, "Do you remember? Was it the beginning of 2017? Was it middle of 2017? He goes, "Oh, it was so long ago, I don't remember when exactly it was." But it was in 2017. Are you certain? 10 years ago? Yes. I said, "That would have been during the Trump administration." He goes, "Yes." Now, the approval probably happened at the end, as the transition goes on the first year. You got the old people going out and new people coming in. Of course, you got the leftovers. But if it was 2017, that makes sense. Confusion? Maybe. Intentional? Possibly. But nonetheless, that's when he applied. 2016 for the green card. 2017, he's supposed to get it. He's approved. Never gets it. 10 years, never gets a green card. Which again sounds odd. But he says, I said, "Why were you released 2 weeks later?" Because they checked the system and they knew that I was eligible, or at least I was told that I was eligible for a green card that I never got. Now, I'm not going to deny that we can all agree the system is botched as far as like the actual logistics and stuff that goes on. But say I wasn't supposed to be or supposed to have the ability to vote. So they tell us. But he's got a Social Security number. Now, I was wondering the entire time, what do they keep hiding from us? What are they not telling us? And why did Seyo in 1999, before he got a legal green card in 2016, 2017, was he able to get a driver's license in 1999? How many people got driver's licenses at the DMV in Connecticut? Now, I don't want to hear another thing about a one-off. I don't want to hear another thing about how our votes or our elections are secure. This ain't about the elections. This is about the safeguards that are in place to prevent illegals from getting an opportunity to be on the voter rolls. And someone else taking advantage of said illegal on the voter rolls and voting. This is a breach into the entire system. You make it easier for people to get on the voter rolls. You make it easier for people to manipulate said rolls. And if somebody at the DMV isn't paying attention, you're literally creating a lane for fraud. So now, to prevent that, we need to excise all the people who shouldn't have a driver's license. Because the driver's license, or this drive-only license, was only what? 2015? 2013? Something around then? Hasn't been that long. We've got people who've been in this country, Seyo included, for 30 years. Seyo got here in 1997, folks. under a false passport and had a driver's license 2 years later, according to him. How did that happen? How do you find out if you don't go through the entire DMV? How do you find out if you don't audit the entire system? Now, again, like I said, check my homework, folks. Come on, man. We know I'm doing the work that the mainstream media just won't do. We know that. All it took was a phone call. But like I said, check my homework. Okay? We'll see you in a bit. I'll even take your phone calls. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. We'll be back in a minute. It's Reese on the radio.
Are you using it for?
Yeah, that's a good question. What are you using it for? We're back. Reese on the radio on WTIC, News Talk 1080. Why is that feeding back to me? Gosh, that's really, really bad. Anyway, we're going to take your phone calls, of course, now. If you're just joining us, I have revealed that this afternoon, a little more than an hour and a half ago, Seyo Called of the Portobello restaurant gave me a call after I left my number at his restaurant this morning, along with Mark from West Hartford and Adam 12. We went there to go talk to him to ask really one question, and if we could, ask several others. I guess he felt more comfortable to call me when we were gone, and he did. And again, I just wanted one question answered about the Department of Motor Vehicles and whether or not they had issued him a regular driver's license, not a drive only. And it turns out he did. He's had a driver's license, a regular driver's license, since 1999. They even tried to get him to apply for a real ID driver's license, which is only available for valid regular driver's license holders, not for drive only, folks. And I asked him, and I pushed him several times, are you certain? And that was the revelation that he gave to me. Yes, they even wanted me to take the thing with the little star, he said. And I went, the real ID? Yes, the real ID. And he has a social security number. Now, again, folks, this flies in the face of the term undocumented. And I will even make the argument, right? Because so many other questions come to this. Why is he picked up by ICE, right? Clearly, it looks like, because the Democrats can use this to their advantage, right? They can say, see, the system's so screwed up that even a documented person is being picked up by ICE, right? They can make that case, but they're not, because something else is wrong. And they know it. This DMV thing is clearly the problem. That's why they duck in and they're running and hiding. Sure, elections are secure, I say with the fingers making quotation marks. No, it's not. He got here in 97, 99. He's legal to drive. He doesn't have a green card yet. He doesn't even apply until, what? We're talking 16 years later. He's able to drive before he has a green card, folks. He's got a valid driver's license before he has a green card. Connecticut seems like the place to be. And it looks awful for Democrats to be protecting him in the way that they are. Because here it just sounds like the whole system is just, hey, come on in. What do you need, a driver's license? Come on, we got you. Hey, do you need an apartment? Got you there too. Food stamps? No, absolutely. Yeah, what else can we give you? What else you don't have? Look over here. Hey, there's a Dodge Dart. Or would you rather have the Honda Civic? That's yours. Absolutely. It's used, but only slightly. Absolutely. We've been taxing the citizens in the nutmeg state through the roof just so we can get this stuff to you. That's what this looks like. They're bending over backwards, holding press conference after press conference. What can we do to serve you, illegal alien? Or as Chris Murphy says, the most important people. What else can you say? Let's get to the phones. There's plenty of people who want to chime in here. I'm going to start with Wall Street Joe. How are you, sir? 1 second. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, visiting Connecticut today.
Okay.
And I'm calling about affordable housing in Manchester, but this new thing that just came up about the motor vehicle, I can give you a big tip on that too. Do you want to hear? What do you want to hear first? The affordable housing?
No, I don't. No, I want to stick. I want to stay to the DMV thing. Just that. So, what do you have on that? Apparently, you have. I'm assuming you have a story that relates to this.
Well, yeah. I wish I had better memory on it, but back when I lived in Connecticut, I believe under the Dan Malloy administration, so we're going back maybe 12, 15 years, there was it was kind of squashed after a few days, but there was a big scandal out of motor vehicle, I believe in Wethersfield. There were some clerks there and an official there involved in selling driver's licenses to illegals for money, for cash. And it only was in the news for a few days, and then it just like disappeared. Now, I'm trying to remember maybe 12, 15 years ago. You may want to look into that.
We will.
It happened.
Absolutely, I will look into that. But call me later on the affordable housing thing, because that is a topic that we had on the other day. But I want to get to a couple of people in here, Joe. So call me back on the affordable housing thing, because we just talked to Harold Foley about that. If you have something on that that you want to share, I'd like them to hear it. So call me back.
They just broke ground last month for over 300 units on Broad Street, and the people are going crazy. The residents.
I know. He just sent me the picture of that yesterday. I know exactly what you're talking about. He sent me a picture of that the day before yesterday. Thank you, buddy. Let me just grab some other people here. Fred is in Middletown. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good. I have a poem called The Reese Guy Part 3.
Go ahead. What do you got?
So is it too soon to stop, drop, hop, pop, and spit some biography about the Reese guy? In a word, no, it's positively timely, all of apropos. And to do so, one need merely reprise two old, well-worn saws. The first, that when all is said and done, there's usually a lot more said than done, adding an addendum that whatever it was that the Reese guy originally came to town to do, he evidently arrived already out of gum and, parenthetically, determined to have fun. The other, so to speak, old saw would be that the enemy of my enemy is the friend of me. But I have no enemies, the Reese guy is known to say. Right, and he also claimed to be 39 years old as of his last birthday. Loud, loquacious, just shy of pugnacious. He's ready, willing, and able of making no less than Ned Lamont unstable. Walking in the room yelling, "What you talking about, Willis?" when Ned is saying something particularly ridiculous. Bob Duff, he left in a huff. And oh my God, Luke Bronin got a good old-fashioned Duncan. Into the Connecticut Valley he strode, charged with the guns, he said. Was it a man dismayed? Yeah. Postscript. Some who punch a clock call the Reese guy shock. Whatever, bruh. Worst case scenario, better shock than schlock. Eh? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. He mentioned Duff, so we got to play.
Hey, it's Duff Man. Duff Man. Oh, yeah.
Duff Man. Oh, yeah. Let me get to... Hey, Simsbury Joe is on the line. How are you, sir?
Doing well. So before I ask my question, I just want to tell you what you're going to be hearing when and if this actually hits the media, where a politician needs to respond to it.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 process. Blah, 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 process. Blah, 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 taking a look at process. Blah, blah, blah. It's something that I've been saying forever, that all these people do when something goes south and they get caught is they blame it on process.
Yep.
And that is absolutely what is going to happen in this case. So here's my quick question here, and I may have misunderstood, and I'm going to give Seyo the benefit of the doubt and assume that what he's telling you is true. And I do believe that what he's telling you is true, because I think there's opportunities there for him to get caught in a lie, and then he ends up in trouble again. So my question is this: if he knew that he was not going to vote because he wasn't eligible to vote. I would like to know who filled out the paper that is online that is the registration to vote.
Right.
Because you either knew you shouldn't be doing it, or maybe what I think might have happened, and I would love to see a number of other documents around that same time period, that maybe someone said, motor vehicles is confusing even for people that were born here.
Correct.
Here, sign this paper. I'll fill out the rest for you. They pull the paper back and they fill it out. Is there a possibility that people in motor vehicles were getting paid by some third party to fill these documents out? And if we were able to take a look at this, if some lawyer decided that they were willing to go after this and not only FOIA it, but then turn around and sue the state on behalf of the citizens of the state for disenfranchisement of our voting, then we would see whether or not there are consistencies in the the human printing on these documents.
I'm going to say, and I'm going to play charades with you, and I'm pointing to my nose. I think, and that's the same thing I said last week, I said that there is somebody in the DMV, and I'm pulling out all the stops here. Seyo fills out this document, says whatever. He's a valid driver's license holder, because that's what we know. He's going there to renew his driver's license, and someone behind the scenes is told to put them on the voter rolls, no matter what. Again, they didn't fill it out, put them in anyway. Why? Because guess what we've heard over the last couple of weeks now, Joe? People were calling up and saying that when they didn't fill out what party affiliation they were in, they were learning that they were marked as Democrats.
Yeah.
Right? So there must be something within the works, and I really do believe this. Every system can be corrupted with someone who gives let's just say a directive, let's use that word, and says if they don't fill it out for them. Because we also have to say, right, remember, there was a federal indictment, a federal lawsuit, I apologize, by Loretta Lynch, right, that said that these things had to be on in the application for the motor voter roll, right? So you get a government agency sued by a government agency that says you're not implementing this enough, and to meet certain quotas, you put a directive in the Department of Motor Vehicle that says there aren't enough people who are using the motor voter rolls and getting enrolled in elections. So you take it upon yourself to push up the numbers. People don't fill that out, I will fill it out for them. And at the end of the day, you do your yearly, your quarterly, whatever the case is. And look, in the Department of Motor Vehicles in Connecticut, we got X amount of people registered to vote through our motor voter rolls. And this is the reason why we need more funding for that program, or why we need to initiate more of that program. So,
yep. And now that we know that this has been happening, I would really like to see Ryan Fazio set aside this whole discussion about Eversource, because it seems like that's all he talks about these days, and start going after very specific situations showing that our voter rolls are corrupted, and it's done by the Democrats.
And we got to go. Look, I'll go this far. Let's just audit the DMV. Let's just do that. Let's see where the Democrats go all out of sorts to protect the DMV. Because, again, if they do, because I know they will, because they can't control themselves, they will. They will say, no, don't audit it. No, we don't. That will create the atmosphere where more and more people in Connecticut will ask, what are you hiding? First, you're hiding our voter rolls from the President of the United States. Now you don't want us to see what's going on at the DMV? You're putting people's lives in danger.
I'd also like to know more about the real ID aspect of what's going on.
Exactly the point. I got to take a break here, Joe, but thank you, man.
Thank you.
You got it. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views, and I'll take a few more of your phone calls, so stand by. We'll return after this. It's Reese on the radio.
Here's the deal. WTIC.
All right, back and live. Let's get these phone calls in real quick because I've got even more situations to deal with here in the great state of Connecticut. Let's go to Dave in Bristol. Nope, wrong place. I'm sorry, wrong place. There he is. Dave's in Bristol. How are you, sir?
Am I here?
Yeah, you're there, sir. Hey, what's up?
Hey, going back to the DMAD thing, I didn't get a chance to get it in the other day, but both of my sons, 4 years apart, they got their driver's license, and they were kind of pushed to automatically register. And both of them registered as Republicans.
Right.
Now, this is 4 years apart. My first son, we go to vote the first time, he was registered as a Democrat.
Wow.
And he couldn't vote. Well, in the primary. Anyway.
In the primary, yeah.
Yeah. So, fast forward 4 years later, this was a year and a half ago, my other son got his license, registered to vote as a Republican. Same thing. And I got the paperwork that shows that he checked off Republican on the registration. And both of my sons were registered as Democrats. So
I think that more and more people have to come forward with this evidence to make sure there's an overhaul of, again, because I think Republicans should start asking folks to bring this evidence to them, to make this case in front of the media, to say that, and again, this is an avenue on which voting can be, it can be sort of, what's the word I'm looking for here? It can be utilized to cheat, is the argument I'm making. Or at least not for them to be secure.
They're just registering everybody
right
as a Democrat.
Yeah, and if that's happening, we have to provide the evidence that that's what's taking place.
No, I got both copies of my son's registration for licenses, and I can't provide the evidence that it wasn't that way afterwards, but when we got to the,
somebody's going to have a record that what they registered as, what it showed up in the system as, if you've got a printed copy of that, and if it's in the system, put them into something else, then someone's either doing that or, as they put it, it's a system glitch, which I actually think that that's not true. Let me get one more in here, Dave. Thank you, man. Let me get Joe in Durham for the last minute. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm great, sir. What do you got?
All right, yes. So I think this Connecticut DMV has been corrupt for decades. When I was in high school, back in, I was a junior back in 1999.
Okay.
There was a thing going around. You could get real fake IDs with it would be a real ID, but it wouldn't have it'd have your picture. It would have a different name, and it would, people are getting so you could drink, so it would say you're above the age.
Right. But you can get this through the DMV?
Through the DMV. So there was somebody who would go there. They knew somebody at the DMV, and they would make the ID, real ID, and I don't remember how much it was, but, there's been corruption going on there forever. And I think, Simsbury Joe kind of stole my thunder on this, but at least we're thinking the same way.
Yeah, stand by for me. Hold on. Stand by for me, Joe. I got the top of the hour, but I'm going to come back to you in the next break. Stand by. Let's get to some news. John Silva's here. He's in the WTIC newsroom. All right, let me get back to Joe. I didn't mean to cut him off, but we had to go to the top of the hour. Hey, Joe, sorry about that. Thank you for holding for me. You were saying that Simsbury Joe stole your thunder, but you should still make your point. What was that?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that Fazio's out there. He's talking about the energy rates. He plans on bringing all the energy costs down, which is, I think it's more of a national problem than anything.
Right.
And that's gonna handle itself.
Right.
But the DMV, everybody knows. Not one person will say something good about the DMV. Let's put it that way.
No, I don't think they ever have.
Long lines. You got to take a day off of work to go there. The fake IDs. When I was there, I personally witnessed DMV people encouraging illegals that are getting a drive-only license to register, to check the box to register to vote.
Wow.
Which is, it's insane. So I think he needs to be out there and saying, listen, I'm going to get a team. I'm going to have them audit, audit the whole DMV.
Yep.
I'll give whistleblowers immunity for coming out.
Yep.
You're telling everything you need. And that's the traction that we need, because that's going to get the independents, even the Democrats, who love it. You think they care about the fake IDs, right?
But this is, there's a bigger issue here. And they can make it about voting. They can make it about us trying, we're not, we have no faith in it. We have no faith in the, in the election system. This has nothing to do with that. If the DMV is in any way corrupt, that's got to be audited for whatever reason that corruption may be in there. And again, there are too many cases that we are seeing, too many horror stories that we're seeing as it relates to the DMV that sort of tells us we have got to do something about it, because in one way they're allowing dangerous people or potentially dangerous people on the road with no checks and balances. If there are people who are using the DMV as a workaround to get registered to vote, that in and of itself has a problem. So just like any other agency, this has got to be audited to find out all the dirty works.
Right.
So
and a quick note. I don't know if I have time.
Yeah, real quick.
I think the immigration attorneys around Connecticut are making a ton of money off of this. I know so many guys. Yeah, I'm in the construction.
Yeah.
I'm in home remodeling trades. I know, there's guys here that have green cards that have applied for citizenship for, since 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they're telling me, they're $10,000-$15,000 in, every time they got, they call the attorney, they're asking for more money.
Wow.
It's so, there's all different angles.
Hey, exactly. There's corruption everywhere, man. It's when there's no one to sort of have any checks and balances, it's going to run rampant. And I kind of feel like Connecticut has sort of run its course on allowing the corruption to go on anymore. It's got to be pushed back on.
He's got to rein it in.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Rein it in.
Indeed. Right, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, man.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Let's go to Bill in Rocky Hill. How we doing, Bill?
Hey, Reese, been a while. Hey, first thing, last week you were talking about communism, something, Volkswagen, Hitler, the people's car. That's what Volkswagen means, the people's car.
The people's car, which is probably the car that there's going to be the official car of the Democrat Socialists of America.
So Tony, the head of motor vehicles, is Tony Tolles.
Yeah.
Who said if we had tolls in Connecticut, we will be the best state in the country. And he got barbecued. So guess what department he runs now? Because he went to bat for them.
Interesting.
Look it up. I'm from Rocky Hill.
Okay, you got it, boss
Tony
man.
Tony Tolles.
That's why everybody's in the chat room bringing him up, saying we got to holler at him. We got to have him on the show. Tony, I know you're a listener. Maybe you should pick up the phone and give us a holler, my friend.
I doubt it, my friend.
I hear you. Thank you, Bill.
He probably doesn't have an ID.
Stop it. Thank you, buddy.
All right, buddy.
You got it. Who is this on the line? When people hide their identities, I'm always wondering who that is. But I'm going to take the risk anyway. Who do we got on the line?
This is Joe from Berlin.
Hey, what's up? Joe from Berlin?
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Okay. I was talking to my neighbor last week after hearing your show.
Okay.
She was an immigrant back in the late 50s, early 60s.
Okay.
And she finally got naturalized last year.
Wow.
When she went to get her regular driver's license, they said it was already the voter.
She was already on the voter rolls.
Yes.
Wait a minute. She got naturalized last year.
Yes.
And then after she was naturalized, she went to go get a driver's license.
Right. Well, she had been driving with I don't know if it was non-drivers, but
well, remember the non-drivers is only as early as as late as 2013.
Oh well, she started driving back in the 60s, early 70s.
Okay, so is this an elderly woman?
77.
Okay. Wow, 77. She only got naturalized when she was in her 70s. And she had already had a valid driver's license.
Yeah.
Ooh. And so when she finally gets naturalized, she's already on the voter rolls.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Okay.
But I'm just thinking, how many green card holders are in this state?
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you have a green card, that's one thing. The question has to be eligibility to get a regular driver's license. If you have the eligibility to get a regular driver's license, are you registered or are you eligible to vote? That question has to be answered. I believe if you do not have a valid Social Security card, because that's what you're supposed to get when you get into the country. In essence, for you to be documented, you have to have some U.S. documentation, in essence, so that you can pay taxes, contribute, therefore.
Yeah. I know a number of people that immigrated. They were working. They had Social Security and stuff like that. I don't know all the backgrounds and stuff.
Right. But again, if the DMV is used as a way to circumvent the voter rolls at the behest of someone who's trying to sort of bump up that number, right? What do? You tell the people at the Department of Motor Vehicle, hey, whether they say that they're registered to vote or not, just register them anyway, right? Say it doesn't matter because they're probably not going to vote. They wouldn't even think about it. So they don't fill out that part of the form. I register them anyway because, again, we've got a quota to meet, right? We need to say how many people every year. And we do that every year. I remember last year, in fact, the beginning of last year, we were talking on this very program about how many people were registered to vote, be they independent, unaffiliated, or Democrat or Republican. So that data is being surveyed somewhere. So if the objective is to count, hey, look, we're registering people every day, there's always that line that's going to happen where someone says, hey, we need to bump these numbers up. They look sloppy. Let's boost those in some sort of way. Hey, they don't fill it out for them.
Right.
So that's why the audit must happen. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate the call.
Okay.
Thank you. You got it. Let's go. I'm going to take Morgan, who's calling in from, I can't even see where that is. I got to get a brighter light on that. How you doing, Morgan?
Doing great, Reese. How about yourself?
I'm all right, sir. What do you got for me?
So the wild part of this is that, when this got brought up by the New Jersey governor, that they said they had 6,600 votes, direct.
Hold on, Morgan, because you're cutting out. You're probably moving around. Try one more time because I don't want them to lose what you're trying to say. Go for it again. Oh, we lost him. Morgan, give me a call back if you can hear me. Call me back and get in a better place. I don't want them to miss what you're saying. Let's go to Tony. How are you, Tony?
Good. How's it going, bud?
I'm all right, sir. What do you got?
Yeah, two quick points. One, I saw Luke Cronin at the Italian Festival on Saturday in Southington.
Oh, damn it, I was there!
Oh, dude, you were there? I was there too, bro. Listen, it was like around 5:30-ish.
Oh, we left by then.
Oh, okay, it was around 5:30. He shook hands with my wife and my daughter, and he went to go shake hands with me. You know what I said to him? Nah, bro, I'm good. He goes, why? How you doing, sir? I was like, your policies don't align with mine. You know who I am? I was like, yeah, unfortunately. I walked away, dude. I saw, dude, face to face, man. I dropped the bomb on him. I was like, your agenda and policies don't align with mine. I'm good. And I walked the heck away, dude. And I told my wife and daughter, make sure you sterilize your hands when you guys get home.
You ain't right.
Yeah, dude, he was there campaigning. Like, nobody wants to hear that crap. People want to enjoy the festival, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's so...
Yeah.
By the way, someone's got to tell me, the festival, someone said that's kind of been dwindled down a little bit. It used to be bigger. It used to go the full block, but now it's only the small section there.
Yes, you are correct. Yeah, anything you need to know about it, I do know because I'm Italian.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it did get a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
It gets crowded.
It does.
The parking's tough there,
Parking wasn't a big problem. I got there relatively early, but it looked like everybody was having a good time. The band was playing. Yeah. We were walking by. We stopped out. We checked out Ryan Fazio's headquarters in Southington, and we ate at Anthony Jack's. Are you familiar with that place?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I've been there many times.
Yeah, nice little place. Yeah, this is a nice place. We had a great time.
Yeah, because I live in Southington there. I live like less than a third of a mile from where they hold it.
Oh, okay. Well, it was nice.
Yeah,
it was great.
Right there.
I love the ethnic sort of Italian, the Polish, and German. I love every one of those festivals because it's sort of like it's sort of traveling the world, if you will. That's the best part.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the cuisine you could taste is as close to authentic as you can get. Not perfect, but it gives you an idea of, that heritage's cuisine and stuff. So I usually go there.
Oh, Tony, we're losing you.
I'm out kind of quick.
What is going on with the phone? Tony,
once in a while,
you're chopping up real bad, but that's okay, buddy. I thank you, man. And listen, Southington is a beautiful little town. We love walking through there. We went through the little park and the museum. It's so pretty there.
Yeah. Yeah, Reese, can I say one more quick thing?
Real quick.
This goes with all your monologues and introductions to your shows. In a nutshell, if this helps anybody and even helps you and your wife, you guys got to solidly remember that a Democrat's agenda is premeditated, and it's a by-design agenda with all their policies. They prey on emotions instead of cause and corrective actions that makes everybody happy. Remember that, bro.
That's right. It's a good point. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah. All right, dude. I'll catch you later.
You got it. Southington and Anthony Jackson was such a great little experience. It's funny because when you drive by there, you realize we've actually been through Southington a couple of times, so it was a nice place. Joe, you ever been to that place, Anthony Jack's? Have you ever been to that restaurant? He's getting on the microphone real quick.
I have not, no. I know where it is, but no.
You know where it is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that little section, that's the thing I can say about Connecticut, and this is blowing my mind. I love the fact that I'm experiencing this way that I did back in 2004 when I first moved here. Because I have not had experiences like this since I was a kid in Queens. We can go to the next neighborhood, and that neighborhood was Polish. The next neighborhood over was German. They were all sort of these little melting pots in Queens anywhere. Southington, I've been to two Italian feasts, one in Waterbury, now in Southington. I went to the Polish one in New Britain, and it felt like I did when I was like 12, 13 years old, going to these little communities. It felt like Queens.
Yeah, I think that's one thing. I talk about that on Sunday for my segment. Like, people need to be a tourist in your own state.
You gotta.
There's so many things going on every weekend in the state, and people are like, "Oh, that's over the river," or "It's 25 minutes away."
Okay,
it's 40.
I complain like that.
Connecticutians are just like, "Oh, that's too far. It's 25 minutes."
That's too far?
Hence the Dunkin' Donuts on every single corner. Like, it's interesting. Like, again, you came from, like, the Texas San Antonio. It's like, oh, we're going to the grocery store. Let's pack a lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, here, it's like, oh, I got to go over the river. I can't today.
I'm telling you, every time I go to these little neighborhoods, especially like the Italian and the Polish ones, they are so rich in culture. But again, it's like there isn't a lot of gentrification. Sorry, folks. No, that's a bad word, but it's not. It's just like there isn't an exchange. I was just talking to my ex-wife today, and she said she went to the old neighborhood. It is none of the people she grew up with are living there anymore. They're gone. At least these folks, we can still. I was just talking to Mike Grosso on Friday. His mom has lived in the same community for almost 60 years. At least that's still in Connecticut. And we're just north of a city that has a turnover of 3 years as far as, people living there. So I love the fact that those neighborhoods are still. We went to that place today. The diner's been there since 1978. That's unheard of where I grew up. Unheard of. So I just love every bit of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Darting on Friday. We were down in
we're
down in Hamden, the Brownstone House.
Okay.
It's been there for like 70-something years.
Wow.
It was so crazy. The owners had an old menu from 74 or something, and like a French fries were like 25 cents. There was one, I was like, can we bring this one back?
Yeah, no kidding.
Ham steak with pineapple sauce.
Really?
It's like, that sounds good.
And what was the price on it? Do you remember?
That one didn't have a price.
Oh, didn't have a price?
So, then there was just like a lobster roll, no price.
Yeah.
Then it was just plate of lobster meat.
Ooh.
I'm like,
bring that back.
What's wrong with that? That sounds amazing.
That's not something you take off the menu.
No.
That's a forever menu item.
But those little places, they're just establishments. They've gone by the wayside, unfortunately.
I don't know, but you know what? I'm telling you, the amount of discovery that I have now has been amazing here in Connecticut. Just every place I've been going has been fantastic. By the way, I want to thank all of you for showing Pasha, the Turkish restaurant in Manchester, some love. The first edition of Family Dinner with Reese and Roseanne is already online. You can find it at, go to my page at reesunradio.com, or if you're already on Facebook, on any of my Facebook pages, you can also find it there. It's about 20 minutes long. It's funny. It's informative. We had a great time with Sal Simsek, who's running in the 26th district with his father-in-law, as we tried a whole bunch of different foods. So if you want to check it out, go to Reese on Radio, go to reesunradio.com, and you can see the link on YouTube to watch the first edition of Family Dinner with Reese and Roseanne. So that's actually, and it's funny too. And I actually, my ex-wife called me. That's what she called me about today. She goes, I like your dinner show. It's funny. I'm like, oh, thank you. When the ex-wife called you and said something nice, that means you made it. You made it. That's all. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views. We'll take some more phone calls on this. And we got to talk about the school system. Sorry. When we return, it's Reese on the Radio. This thing has already taken a life of its own. One of my whistleblowers just sent me some. Okay, it doesn't seem to pan out, but I'm going to look into that. I'm not even going to report it yet, but I will double check it and find out where that story comes from. We'll have more on this, because now that at least I've opened up a line of communication with Seyo, I'm going to hope that he can sort of provide me with some documented proof here. Because in a weird way, he might be able to assist us in getting to the bottom of all of it. You know, if the DMV is doing something, or if there's a system issue, we can get to the bottom of it. And it may not cover all the ground on what we believe is sort of helping this voter fraud situation, but at least it's one thing that we can remedy. And with these people talking about, oh, it's nothing, it's like as all of this sits with the backdrop of, Wanda Pataki and the scandal in Bridgeport, as all of these people who took pictures with the mayor down there supporting him, in lieu of all of this. That's the part that sort of annoys everybody who's saying, oh, our elections are secure. Not so fast there, buddy. So just so you know. I looked at this, and I saw this story, and it didn't get a lot of attention. And I'm not exactly sure why it didn't get a lot of attention. Do you folks remember, I don't want to know if it was last year or the year before, there was a school teacher who was fired for having a crucifix in her classroom. And she fought really hard to keep her job. She thought that what was being done to her was religious persecution. And from everything I've looked up, Connecticut has had a strong stance when it comes to separation of church and state. They do not like public displays of Christianity in schools or in public. What I'm talking about when I look at the history of religious, let's just say, divisiveness when it comes from our elected officials here in Connecticut. Few of these things come to mind. Let's look at a few as far as Christianity is concerned. A nativity scene at the state capitol in 2025. The Joint Committee on Legislative Management barred the Family Institute of Connecticut from displaying a nativity scene inside the Capitol, specifically because it was religious. Officials argued a standalone Christian display could be seen as government endorsement of Christianity. First Liberty Institute and the group challenged this as viewpoint discrimination and unlawful application of the Establishment Clause. And the aforementioned teacher's crucifix in New Britain. A 30-year school teacher named Marisol Arroyo Castro was ordered to remove a small crucifix she kept near her desk and other personal items. School administrators explicitly cited the First Amendment and separation of church and state, calling permanent religious displays by teachers prohibited. A federal district court in Connecticut upheld the school's position and denied her preliminary injunction. The case is currently on appeal. In graduation ceremonies, as far back as 2010, a federal court blocked Enfield Public Schools from holding high school graduations at First Cathedral, a Christian church, on Establishment Clause grounds, citing the religious nature of the venue and visible Christian imagery. These are not isolated. These are school districts who routinely police Christian symbols, prayer, or religious expression by staff under the same separation rationale. Now, July 1st, 2026, this headline. Public Act 26.1 requires the State Board of Education to develop Islamic and Arab studies materials and encourage local districts to use them. Districts are not forced to adopt this lesson, but the state will create, promote, and push them. This adds another identity and culture-focused item to the growing list of state-backed curricula, while raising questions about process, content control, equal treatment of religion, and parental transparency. Connecticut law now requires that the State Board of Education make curriculum material on Islamic and Arab studies available. The provision sits in Public Act 26.1, a large omnibus education bill that moved under emergency certification and took effect on July 1st of this year. Districts are not required to teach the material. They may choose to use it, fold pieces into existing course, or ignore it. These mirrors existing state language that already directs the board to assist and encourage districts on Holocaust and genocide education, African American and Black studies, Puerto Rican and Latino studies, Native American studies, and Asian American and Pacific Islander studies. Islamic and Arab studies is now listed as among the items. This support was led by Ferran Memon of CARE, Connecticut. We'll get into him in a second. Now, Christian symbols barred, but Islamic studies promoted. We ask the simple question: is Islamic studies a religious study? The answer is overwhelmingly yes, because Islamic studies is a branch of religion. Islamic studies is widely treated as a branch of religious studies. Standard university definitions describe Islamic studies as the academic study of Islam as a religion, worldview, and civilization. That includes the core religious texts, such as the Quran and the Hadith, theology, jurisprudence, philosophy, history of Muslim societies, and related culture and politics. This sits alongside Jewish studies and Christian studies, which, by the way, are banned in the schools. So, what's going on? Why would Senator Martin Looney, Rep. Matthew Ritter, Senator Bob Duff, that's right, Bob Duff, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, it's Duff Man. Duff Man. Oh, yeah.
Jason Rojas, and Rep. Hilda Santiago. They're all responsible for this, as well as the people who defend it, Senator Gary Winfield, Representative Jennifer Leeper, and also Matt Lesser, who's back into it again. But then again, what else is new? I mean, it's Matt Lesser, for crying out loud. Someone explained to me why Christianity is barred, but Islamic studies is promoted. What also seems to bother me is the fact that the gentleman who pushed this from CARE has said what I can only describe as some troubling things in his career. CARE was recognized as an unindicted co-conspirator in the largest terrorism financing prosecution in U.S. history. The gentleman known as Farrar Memon of CARE Connecticut has publicly supported the new Islamic and Arab Studies curriculum law indicated in the chapter and intends to collaborate with the State Department of Education on the materials. The nation's organization's documented record is therefore relevant when evaluating who shapes the Connecticut students who will be taught. What are some of the stances of CARE? Well, they're anti-Israel, aren't they? They scream the words genocide. Who are they talking about? What are their feelings on people like Benjamin Netanyahu? Yeah, what are they? Shouldn't we be asking? So here's what I propose. We should be teaching Christianity in the classroom now. And when I say now, I mean right now. Can I give you my argument? It's real simple. Christianity is a core tenet of African American culture. If you teach African American culture in the schools, if that is something you wish to promote, well, you clearly have to talk about its involvement with African American history. The black church was the primary institution of the community, mutual aid, education, and political organizations for generations under slavery and Jim Crow. Spiritual gospel music and a rhetorical style of the civil rights movement came directly out of the Christian faith and the black church. Leaders from Frederick Douglass to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. grounded their arguments for equality in justice in Christian theology and the language of the Bible. To this day, a large majority of African Americans identify as Christians, and the black church remains a central and cultural social force. Christianity formed our union in large part, but yet it is not considered a part of our education system. It is barred and banned everywhere. But Islam is now being promoted inside the schools? Interesting. Where are the faith leaders on this? Because if you think about it, they're doing this with the children. What happens to the black church if they start cutting down any religious studies in the school that are only associated with Islam or anything else, but not Christianity? You have kids who don't believe in God and believe in Islam or believe in Muhammad. Black churches, no need, no more. Just saying. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll take your phone calls too. 860-522-WTIC. It's Reese on the radio.
NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
So this guy, Farhan Mehman, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his name, he has some public statements about Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu. These statements are recent. We're not talking 10 years ago. We're talking just a few years ago. Let's start with 2024 in June. Opposing Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressing Congress. He called Netanyahu a suspected war criminal and said inviting him diminished America's prestige and committed to human rights. In 2024, he also wrote in support of UConn's pro-Palestinian encampment. I know you folks remember that. He expressed solidarity with those student protesters, criticized police response, and referenced claims of acts of genocide in Gaza by Israel, included allegations involving mass graves. In March of 2026, on his Facebook page, he referred to alliances with the terrorist state of Israel. That means people like Ned Lamont and others in this state, saying that they were aligning with terrorists. And in July of 2025, he wrote, "Stop posting at AIPAC talking points. Israel is committing genocide in Gaza and ethnic cleansing since 1948. There should be a UN peacekeeping force sent in, and the Israeli cabinet should be arrested as war criminals." I'd like to know if the people of Connecticut, the elected officials who fought for this Islamic school curriculum or classroom curriculum, I'd like to know if they share his sentiment. This guy was able, after what happened at UConn with the pro-Palestinian encampments, this was their response to it. It's worth looking into. I'm just saying. Catholics, Christians, you got to stand up. If anybody says anything to you about your religious displays or anything, in fact, I think this is great appeals for this woman, Castro, who had the crucifix in her classroom. I mean, again, for a state to make a law that says you have to teach Islamic religion and then force this woman out of her job for holding a crucifix in her classroom, something she had done for years, I'd say this woman should get her back pay and her job back. I don't know whether or not I would go work for these folks again, but I would. That's all I'm saying. We'll come back with your phone calls. We got to get our first check of weather and traffic. But if you want to call about this, you can. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Let's get our first check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher is here. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. How we doing, sir? All right. First half done. Second half underway of the Reese on the Radio program. When we return, we'll take your phone calls talking about Islamic teaching in our public schools. There is a lively discussion happening online here in the chat room. I'll be reading some of that when we return as well. And again, I knew it would spark something as soon as I read the story. Roseanne's going to be here later on in the week. She has been all over this. She's already ready to start a group to fight this. And if you're interested, just find Roseanne on Facebook, please, because she is looking for a bunch of people, some patriots, to get together so she can push back on this initiative. And if not, to at least meet it with equal pressure to get Christianity back in schools. Because if we're going to do this with Islamic studies, we're going to have to protect Christian ideology as well. You can't have it for one and not have it for the other. So, we'll get into that in due course. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher is back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, sir. Yeah, I totally appreciate all the comments in there. I'll read this in a second. Michael A. has a good point. Talking about chipping away at the Constitution is one thing, but there's something far worse about this Islamic studies things, and it's like these people don't even get it. If you're going to promote Islamic studies in the classroom, and therefore religious studies, how is that going to mesh with the LGBTQ studies in the classroom? How's it going to mesh? Someone's going to have to figure that out. How do you get the two? I mean, if you thought racial wars were a thing of the 70s, wait until you see the ideological ones that are going to happen in the classroom when you bring Islamic studies into that classroom at the same time, teaching boys can be girls and girls can be boys. And, Sarah's got two mommies, Billy's got two daddies, with the Islamic teaching in the classroom. I am not okay with this behavior in the classroom. Something must be done. Something must be done. They're all going to run. The cultures are going to collide. They are. Because you're going to hear those Islamic parents inside the classroom. Well, my son came to home last night and told me, how many genders are there? Good luck! Good luck! Because I want to see it. I want to see what the classroom's going to look like when it's time to put up everybody's representative flag. Huh? They're going to sit next to one another? Are you going to have genderqueer in the same library cubby as the Quran? Try it if you dare. Come on. I want to see it. I want to see it. Huh? And don't forget. And let's be really honest here, folks. I'll get to your phone calls in a second, but let's be really honest here. These are facts. Nobody gives a damn about your feelings. These are facts. Transgender folks shot more people than ICE did this year. Yeah. People who identify as transgender, yeah. They shot far more people than ICE did. And we don't want to marginalize those folks, right? We don't want to say anything against those folks. They're fighting for their lives, which is probably the reason why they're committing so much violence. It's because there's always violence happening against them. But what do you think's going to happen when the Islamic studies come in, huh? What do you think's going to happen then? Talk about threat. Trust me, the cisgenders in our society will be nothing compared to what the folks in the Islamic communities are going to say. Anybody check on that? See, this shows you exactly how stupid these officials are. Every one of you, Martin Looney, Matt Lesser, every one of you, certifiably stupid. Because Bob Duff, too. Oh, you know Bob Duff, he's a certifiable dum-dum.
Hey, it's Duff Man. Duff Man. Oh, yeah.
That knucklehead, he's the one who is promoting gay and lesbian books inside the classroom and is promoting Islamic culture inside the classroom. And nobody thinks there's a powder keg happening that's going to happen there. Not one person. Not one person looked at each other and said, I feel like there's an all-in-water thing happening here. These people are the dumbest dumbest. And they'll have no control. They'll all look around and say, I don't know how this happened. I couldn't possibly have thought why this was happening. Really? The Muslim culture has a problem with the LGBTQ community? Never heard that before. Lori, how are you?
Hey there, sir. First things first. Please congratulate me because I am a first-time home buyer. I just got a closing on a home that's within my means, and so here we are.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I was driving back from the attorney's office to my new home when this whole conversation was coming up. And I don't know if you had heard about the book by Gad Saad.
Yes.
Called Suicidal Empathy.
Yes, ma'am.
That's exactly what this is. We're just being so, we want to embrace everybody. And then when they go to kill us, it's going to be like, oh, wait, what happened? And it's just, it's.
Oh, the culture. Listen to me. This is going to be a circular firing squad before it ever reaches us. And then they're not going to know. What do you think? Lori, let me ask you this. And again, I know I'm asking you on the fly, but think about it. Let's say that while this classrooms are trying to teach gender ideology and Islamic culture, which, by the way, they're saying they're not forced to, so which means that there are going to be Islamists or Muslims who are going to say, hey, this is a law, you need to teach it. So let's say we get into the classroom, we start teaching it, there becomes this sort of apathy between the two groups, right? And there's a class warfare that happens in there where certain groups, and when I say classroom warfare, I mean this group of Muslim kids versus this group of part of the LGBTQ communities, and there's fighting going on. And let's say we'll just call it fighting. And there's an uptick in violence between the two groups. How do you think they're going to handle it? Because somebody has got to say, I got to pull back on one or pull back the other, or I got to rein this in some way. How are they going to deal with it? They have no remedy for it. None.
Yeah, no. But the other fear, though, too, or that's not fear, but concern is that, a lot of the Islamic peoples are using the First Amendment against us with the right to practice religion.
That's correct.
So that's how we end up with what's going on in Dearborn. But yeah, like how is it that you're going to allow the Islamism to be taught in schools, I guess based on the premise of being diverse.
Yep.
But, okay, well then let's do Christians and Jews because everybody needs to be recognized for being diverse.
That's right.
It's just, as much as I'm enjoying them, they're going to try to get themselves into like incredible pretzels to try to explain all of the things that they're going to try to explain. As much as I would enjoy seeing that, it's also just like, okay, Jesus, please take this wheel because we are in an unholy mess.
Somebody is going to have to take the reins and just go, I'm sorry, kids. We gave you the keys to the car. There's far too many wrecks and bumps on this vehicle to let you drive anymore. Yeah. And that's what's got to happen. People are going to say, like, again, they are going to watch this. I'm telling you that the uptick in violence will be palpable. Okay? And everyone will feel they have to defend themselves in some way. And it's not going to be done administratively because these guys, they're out to lunch anyway. But the kids inside the classroom, especially in high school, these kids are going to start going after each other in ways that the teachers are not going to know how to do. They'll go, oh, it's an under... And then the worst part is, guess what the school systems will do? They'll try to keep it under wraps. They don't want it to get out to the public. And they'll say, no, we'll handle it in-house until some kid ends up dead.
Right, exactly. But again, which brings us back to we are in an unholy pickle.
Yep.
And how they're going to try to get themselves out of it will be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, indeed. Well, congratulations.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say congratulations on the house, Lori. I want to grab a few before I get to the next break, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it. Love you. Great. Congratulations again. Let's go to Barbara in Windsor. Hello, Barbara.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm good. What's up?
As a teacher, this is something that I've always questioned. Why is it okay to have the LGBTQ flag in the classroom, but you can't have like your face or like just a tiny little cross or something in the classroom? Like why is it okay for one but not the other?
Because the argument was, and I looked this up, I'm so glad you mentioned it. So apparently the argument is Christianity is everywhere. It is celebrated everywhere with churches, you know, all across your neighborhood. Christmas lights and all that stuff. Like, Christmas is everywhere. These groups are marginalized because they don't have institutions that we're familiar with. And because of that, we can marginalize them in some way, right? We sort of tamp down on them, and these other groups need to be platformed. So that's their excuse.
I don't agree with it, and I've actually questioned this to my superintendent because I didn't think it was fair, because I am a Christian. I go to church, and I even have a little prayer group in the morning with some of my colleagues. We do it privately.
Congratulations! Listen, that takes a lot of guts. My pastor, Brad Bradley, was in our church today talking exactly about that, saying, you know, some of us have to take that risk and sort of have prayer groups inside of our classrooms to, you know, bring back faith into our, you know, our work, our places of work. Yeah, people are going to be upset, but you have the religious freedom to do so.
Certain and it starts the day off on a positive note with, you know, just keeping God in your thoughts throughout the day and how you can handle certain situations. But it just doesn't make sense to me. It seems like such a one-way street sometimes.
Yeah, and that's exactly, you're 100% right. It's not, listen, you are not missing the point here. You're 100% right, because they made it clear. And I pointed out all three of those cases. With the group that wanted to have the nativity scene in the Capitol, couldn't do it. A teacher, you know, with somebody in your line of work, was literally fired. A 30-year teacher fired for a small crucifix on her desk because one person complained. And then they introduced the next year Islamic studies, as if the case with this woman didn't even exist.
That's terrible.
It is. Absolutely. Barbara, thank you so much, and I appreciate it. A lot of teachers don't have the guts to call, so we commend you.
Thank you.
You got it. Have a good one. Let me see if I can get one more. Let's go Jim in Waterbury. How are you, sir?
Good. These people, I came in late, but these people are nuts. I tell you, if they ever bring that into our schools, there's going to be a war.
I know!
If we can't have Christianity or Judaism taught in our schools, there's no way in Hades should that ever be taught, because that is the religion of terrorism.
Well, there are people who have used it as such, but then again, that could be, I would make the argument that anybody can make that claim. Christianity just hasn't done it in thousands of years, but the argument still remains. I hear you in the sense of what I believe will happen, and again, this is because what we know, you are looking at two cultures, and that is the LGBTQ culture and the Islamic culture, who have an issue with the other. They pretend that they don't, but they do. And if you've got that going on in the classroom, where both are being exhibited and promoted without proper supervision, these teachers aren't equipped to deal with these conversations with these kids.
Oh, they're not.
They're not equipped, and they're not equipped to handle what is going to be nothing more than a powder keg inside that classroom. Because
these politicians are so afraid of Islam. They're afraid.
Oh, I know they are, but that's my whole point. You can't be so afraid that you're actually putting two people in a situation that you cannot happen if it becomes combustible. And it will.
Yeah. They do everything they can to take Christianity out of everything.
Yeah. And promote everybody else. But then again, every one of these people are paying more attention to marginalized communities instead of understanding, in doing so, what kind of other problems you're going to create, because they're naive to those things. They don't think that there is a thing between these two groups. And they even mention it for some odd reason they would have an issue with. I would ask a politician, are you concerned that a Muslim faith that says that homosexuality was wrong, teaching that to a child and then putting him in the classroom where there is gender ideology conversations and LGBTQ conversations, that these two kids or these two groups are not going to clash? And if the person looked at me like I was a dummy and said, I don't understand what you're talking about, I would know I was dealing with a complete moron.
Well, these politicians really need to be voted out, Reese.
I'm trying to make the case every day here. I'm trying, Jim. But thank you, Jim. I appreciate you, all right?
Have a blessed day.
Thank you, man. You too. That's all I'm trying to do. Try to get these people to recognize exactly what's happening here. Your elected officials are nimrods. That they don't get this. Either they don't understand Islam or don't understand the Muslim faith, or they don't really care about the LGBTQ community in Islam. And I don't know how you're going to talk people down. It's like, hey, make sure you don't attack them. I know it's against your religion, but don't mix it up, okay? Good luck. Let's take a break. Mark Christopher's back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark. Also want to take an opportunity to say thank you for all of the folks who have been checking out the new show, Family Dinner with Reese and Roseanne, at Pasha Restaurant in Manchester. That was great. So far, in literally well over 3,000 views so far.
So you can have guest eaters with you? Because I'm putting my first one, I'm suggesting me.
Absolutely. That's the whole idea. So, yeah, we literally sit at a round table. We had Sal Simsek, who's running in the 26th district. So he sat with us with his father-in-law. He's Turkish. His father's Polish, but loves Turkish food. So they sat with us and we ate with them as they explained all of the stuff on the menu to us. There was a lot of lamb. There was some liver, of all things.
I still can't get behind liver.
This one, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Lamb, I'm down with.
This liver was interesting. It did not taste like mom's liver. It did not.
I mean, I'll always try try something.
You got to try it. It's one of those things where you got to try it. I was not one of those guys that would have ever tried Turkish food, but now that I have, I can go back.
I'll eat anything twice. That's my theory. You don't know. It might not have been cooked right the first time.
That's possible. Absolutely. Let's do the stupid thing. Stupidest thing I read today comes to us from the UK Daily Mail. Well, the U.S. version. This one comes out of Lockahachie, Florida. A young man by the name of Nicholas Vanderplate was at the Regal Theater in Royal Palm Beach and apparently lost his mind. He went to the bar inside the movie theater. He had one drink. He was absolutely fine. Grabbed another drink from the bartender, and then inexplicably slammed it down and went running through the movie theater, slamming through a closed and locked emergency door during the film The Odyssey, the new Christopher Nolan film. Slammed through it, screaming and losing his mind. When the cops finally caught up with him to find out exactly why he went bananas, it turns out he realized that he lost his vape. That is the reason.
Wow, that's some third world problem stuff.
Yeah.
I would have been the one idiot in the theater and been like, I'll have what he's having.
Yeah. Yeah, he ran through the movie screening of the film, and he ran through an emergency exit. He took the door off the hinges when he slammed through the door.
Maybe the Bills are looking into him.
Oh, yeah, right. They should. Well, it's Florida, so perhaps the Dolphins for that matter. Yeah, that's the stupidest thing I read today. A vape. I didn't know it could do that to you. Perhaps some THC was in that. Let's get a check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher is back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Mark, I have to ask you, what is the 1 feat of strength that you pulled where you said, I can't believe I was able to pull that off? Like, like maybe carrying I don't know, like a car or something like that. Have you ever done anything where you say, I can't believe I did that?
No.
No feat of strength that you could come up with?
There was that one time the vanilla ice cream was a little over frozen, so he just ripped into it like the Hulk.
Yeah, once it gets frozen, it gets heavy.
I have one. I was at a gym with a whole bunch of muscle heads, and I got on one of those stupid feet compressors where you lift weights with your feet, but you got to push down.
Yep.
Okay, I pushed down 900 pounds.
Whoa.
Twice.
Wow.
That was absolutely amazing to me in my younger days. I don't think I could do 9 pounds today, but 900, I actually did it twice just to prove I could. My back has never been the same.
Yeah, I was going to say, man. Wow, 900 pounds. That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, heading into Hartford right now, you are slowing into the Southbound.
Free Odyssey app.
Yeah, that always helps. Soon we're about to hear there's more ways to listen to WTIC. We haven't made an announcement yet, have we? Is there an official announcement yet? I know it's everywhere. It's got to be everywhere. How do you not know? Do you have to check? It's in the publications, right? It's everywhere. I saw it on Barrett Media, right? So it's not a mystery, right? It's not like quiet as kept. Yeah, it doesn't look it. Okay, well, WTIC is going to Sirius. Check out the story. It's everywhere. I don't know when it's supposed to happen, like at the end of the year or something like that, but it's a whole story. I want to get to the phones real quick. Let's go to Mark and Vernon. Mark, thanks for holding on, man. I know that you tried to get in earlier. How you doing, sir?
Hey, no worries. Listen, I just wanted to comment on the stupidity that you're talking about with the schools and the Democrats and how. So I think it was this morning on Brian Kilmeade's show, he was talking about some politician that they don't want jails, and instead we're gonna make their income or help the poor more, so they don't have. It's because of their the violence that they're committing is because of their poorness.
Yes.
And just like, okay, so we're going to appease them by paying them to be good.
Listen to me.
So stupid.
This is not, no. Listen, it is stupid, but it is not a foreign concept. I have to find this audio for you. Marie Harf. That's her name. I'm almost positive. Are you familiar with her name?
Yeah, well, I think Brian played it.
Okay. Was it Marie Harf? No, Marie Harf is the woman who used to be the Pentagon spokesman under the Obama administration. And when we were dealing with ISIS, remember that? During ISIS, Marie Harf on the stage at the Pentagon briefing said, quote, that we needed to find these radical Islamists a job so they would stop committing acts of terrorism. I am not kidding you. I'm not kidding you.
Is she related to Neville Chamberlain?
Yes, exactly. She said that the reason why ISIS was committing barbarism was because they lacked jobs in the Middle East. And everybody who was there was just like, well, let's just build them a Walmart for crying out loud. Like, what? Are you kidding me?
So we're to believe that because they're not having jobs and they're not getting good paying jobs, that this is stemming more violence on the people that have jobs. Really? You really expect me to believe that?
Today, listen, this is the reason why they can't solve these problems. Because they open their mouth and insert everything. Because they are pure, unadulterated idiots.
So that's why they legalized THC.
Yeah. Right, because you'd have to be high to believe any of this nonsense.
Yeah, they are high. And they're making decisions because they are high.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. I'm telling you, I got to find the audio. Please do me a favor, Joey. Please find it. Marie Harf, Harf, when she says that ISIS or the terrorists need jobs in order to stop committing acts of violence. Please, I hope you can find that for me. Anyway, thank you, Mark. I appreciate you holding up for me.
No worries.
Thanks, sir. Let's go to Polly in Niagara Falls. How are you?
Hey there. I hope you don't hate me.
Why?
Okay. Well, just because I kind of disagree with some things.
Okay.
But ultimately, most things I agree. But what I'm saying, what you were talking about, I caught about half of your show. Do you not think this is not organic? This Islamist extremist push in our really? They're going to start teaching it in school. We don't allow. They can't teach creationism.
Yes.
Over evolution in school. How the hell did they get to? Oh, we're going to start teaching Islam in school.
I don't get it. But wait. You have a good point of view on this. So you believe that the intentions of these politicians, Martin Looney and such, and the Bob Duffs, you believe that they actually have an active interest in promoting Islam inside the schools because they have another ulterior motive?
Well, okay. I don't know if they directly think that broadly.
Okay.
Or they're that intelligent.
Right.
But they're just giving marching orders, I think.
Right.
This is a top-down. There is no way in America are we going to start teaching Islam in school, in public school, without it being a top-down. This is an agenda.
You think it's a party initiative?
Wait, say again?
You think this is a party initiative? Like this is coming from the upper echelons of the party saying that now we need to promote this state by state?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Both parties, I think. I really think both.
Really?
I think look, it promotes civil divide, divide and conquer. Civil keeps us in chaos, and it's divide and conquer. I really think if you just step back, wait a minute. Look back when Obama was in.
Right.
Remember the flood of immigrants from the Middle East and Africa.
Yep.
And Arab nations in Africa also. Flooding into France, Germany, Switzerland, and I'm forgetting a few other.
Obama famously gave that speech that said that America is no longer a Christian nation.
Oh, I kind of forgot about that.
Yes,
yeah. Okay, then we got a flood in America from South America, but it was also a flood from Africa and Middle East. How'd they get there? Who paid their ticket? Come on. This is it's a top-down plan.
And you think it's bipartisan?
I do. I don't.
I'm going to say, without, and I find it a little odd that anybody in a Republican, maybe Republican establishment folks, that there's a strong possibility with this, but I would say it's more the acquiescent type of Republican because they have a fear of being dubbed as Islamophobic if they push back. So in essence,
you're going by sociological,
right?
With the politicians.
Right.
They're going by their follow the money, their paycheck.
Gotcha.
I'm telling you, it's more. There is no. Okay, I'm just saying.
No, I'm willing. Hey, Polly, I love you. Polly, you have never ever come into here with anything like people may call you a conspiracy theorist or off the deep end. Even you say that, but I always give your stuff a grain of sort of truth and understanding because look, you can't be that far fetched. Because if there's no real active pushback by the opposition party, you have to ask yourself, why not?
You're right. Exactly.
It begs the question, why not?
But what's the outcome? Chaos, civil divide, and strife.
That's right. And again, that's what politicians, that's what they're in office for.
Quay bono. That's all I'm saying.
I got you, Polly.
Give it a thought. All right.
Thank you, Polly.
I love you.
Love
All
you
right.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Polly, all the way in Niagara Falls, checking out the show. Let's take Chip in Coventry. How we doing? Coventry. I'm sorry, I have to say that right. My wife will kick my butt. How are you doing, Chip?
Why would you kick your butt? It is
because I have to say it right. I have to say Coventry.
She say Coventry. Yes, I live in Coventry.
What's up, buddy?
Coventry, potatoes, potato. Who cares? Hey, Reese.
Yes, sir.
Regarding, and I'll make this super quick on the. I caught the tail of the classroom with the crucifix.
Yes.
And when I was a kid, like 100 years ago, the pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we had to, but we did. We did that, and I'm Catholic. I'm not a super Bible thumper, and but I do believe in God. I just don't know where He is. I'd like to find out one day, but not soon.
Have faith. He's right next to you. But go on. Yeah, but we had a society that, in essence, did not frown upon the idea that we stood up and pledged allegiance to the flag before we started our school day. We played the Star Spangled Banner in the beginning of our school day. There was a sense of nationalism before it was bastardized and turned into something evil.
And that's that for that. I just, because I can't stand. I mean, like you said, we have flags everywhere that from other countries that represent their country, and I'm proud to be a freaking American. I'm just saying, okay? Yeah. Based on what's going on in other countries, not just Iran, but just think about living in another country and expecting free this, free that. Yeah. Now, you're from New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been there a few times. Now, I'm at Cumberland Farms now in Coventry, and I don't read the New York Post. I just happen to walk over there.
Okay.
And I see the front page. Maybe you're seeing this. This makes me sick to my stomach with moron Mandani.
I have not. Wait. Is this a read? Okay, go ahead. Tell me what it is.
Well, I guess a 12-year-old boy, the owner of a bodega store.
Yes.
His son got shot, and unfortunately, he died. And then there's a picture next to it with moron Mandani, when he went to Rikers Island to have chicken, and he had nice spread and watching the FIFA. Now, you're from New York, and I'm not. But I'm thinking we have enough to do with Nettie or Teddy Lamani there and Christopher Murphy. We should send them to Rikers just for a visit.
But you're talking about the tone-deaf nature of going to Rikers to go have a feast with the inmates and not attending to this boy who was killed.
Yeah. I mean, politically speaking, why in the H did he? Because I really appreciate your insight because you are. That's why
I do have the story coming up in the next hour. I'm going to throw that in sort of my national news, but I will bring it up. So make sure you tuned in, okay?
On WTIC AM with Reese.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, bro.
You got it. Yeah, that Mamdani story, everything about him. There's another story that just came out a moment ago on the New York Post, so I'm going to get into that as well. Speaking of the next hour, stand by because I got to tell you about this. We got music news coming up, of course, but we got Fauci news, and we've also got China blackmail news. I don't know if you've heard about this, and I have the audio to support it, folks. According to Catherine Heritage and the document dump from 2 Thursdays ago, it looks like China was blackmailing the Biden administration. And I have proof that Biden was concerned that it was going to come out because he did whatever he could to separate himself from a quote by President Xi Jinping of China. You guys, you're saying to yourself right now, wait a minute, I remember this. I know you do. Don't worry. I've got the audio for you. You don't want to miss it. Plus the Fauci Files. We got more of that too. Everybody's talking about it all over the place except for the people who's supposed to be talking about it. MS Now. Yeah. You don't want to miss that. So I got audio sound bites for that. You might remember it. Remember what Xi Jinping said just after Biden got in office? Xi Jinping called Biden something. And then Biden had to respond to it. Oh, it's a great piece. Anyway, we got to get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher is back. He is getting you home. For those of you jumping out early before the 5 o'clock hour, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
All right, back. And wow, why is that so loud? That just popped right into my ear. Damn. I was like, what the hell is that? Let's do the thing. News. News. Hey, happy birthday goes out to Pete Yorn. The American singer-songwriter is 52 years old. If you want to hear a great record by Pete Yorn, I don't know the name of it. I promised myself I was going to look it up today, but I remember listening to it a lot. Pete Yorn has a record with, of all people, Scarlett Johansson. And it is a good record. It's really, really good. Abe Cunningham, the drummer for the Deftones, turns 53. I always thought the Deftones were older than me, but they're younger. Juliana Hatfield of Blake Babies and the Lemonheads turns 59. I always thought they were older than me. Rex Brown, the bassist for Pantera, turns 62. And Bobby Gentry, the singer and songwriter of Old Ode to Billy Joe, turns 84. On this day in music in 1976, after a years-long legal battle with U.S. immigration authorities, considering the day we're on, John Lennon was granted a green card and permanent residency in the United States, 1976. In 1981, Stevie Nicks released her debut solo album, Belladonna, which features songs like Stop Dragging My Heart Around with my favorite, Tom Petty, and The Edge of 17. And in 1984, Metallica released their second studio album, Ride the Lightning, with the tracks that included Fade to Black, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and Creeping Death. And I remember listening to them when I was in Queens. That was the first time I'd ever heard Metallica. When that song, For Who the Bell Tolls. That was the first song I ever heard. And then I heard and Justice for All and all that other stuff in the Black Album when they became kind of pretty much synonymous with rock music. All right, and that's your music news. Another check of weather and traffic is with Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Do you know Pete Yorn? Are you a Pete Yorn guy at all?
Pete Yorn. Is that a 60s artist?
No. He is only 52. But he has got a song with Scarlett Johansson I used to listen to back in the days. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I will look it up. It is such a good song. I knew that Scarlett Johansson could sing, but this song is really cute and clever, and I remember there's either a music video or a live performance of her doing it that is really, really good. Scarlett Johansson can really, really sing, but it's worth listening to.
Studio album Breakup in 2009 and an EP called Apart in 2018.
Is that the name of the song? With Scarlett Johansson?
Pete Yorn Acoustic Realtor, is it called?
No. Well, I don't know if that's the album.
Bad Dreams?
No, it's not even. No, it's not coming to me. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah.
She's not. Are you looking up her name along with Pete Yorn?
Yes.
And that's what did you come up with?
Pete Yorn Acoustic Realtor, is it?
That's not coming to me. I don't think why. That's not it. And that's saying that Scarlett Johansson's on that? She probably did more than one song. I just remember one. It's not coming up. What are you finding, Joey? Nothing? There it is. That's it. That's the song. What's the name of that, Joey?
It's called, I believe, Realtor.
Is that Realtor? Realtor?
I believe it's called Realtor.
I thought it was something else. Huh? Weird. It's hard to believe that's Scarlett Johansson. It doesn't sound like her.
Nice voice.
Yeah, she sounds great. Yeah. Anyway, back to traffic. You know, they probably scrapped that audio just because they don't want people to hear her say it. I was saying earlier that Marie Harf, who was the Pentagon spokesperson. I don't know if she was either deputy. She had to have been deputy and then moved up. But she was talking about ISIS, and she had mentioned that the reason why ISIS was killing people is because they didn't have good-paying jobs. That's it. I think Joey has the article, the audio. I guess Chris Matthews, formerly of MSNBC, was asking her about it. Yeah, you can play that.
We cannot kill our way out of this war. We need, in the longer term, medium and longer term, to go after the root causes that leads people to join these groups, whether it's lack of opportunity for jobs.
We're not going to be able to stop that in our lifetime or 50 lifetimes. There's always going to be poor people. There's always going to be poor Muslims.
That's enough.
And as long as there are poor Muslims, the trumpet's blowing.
Lack of opportunities for jobs. You heard her say it, folks. Play one more time. She says it. Okay? So nobody can turn around and say I said anything and I lied about her. Okay, play one more time.
But we cannot win this war by killing them. We cannot kill our way out of this war. We need, in the longer term, medium and longer term, to go after the root causes that leads people to join these groups, whether it's lack of opportunity for jobs.
We're not going to be able to stop that.
I think Chris Matthews was brilliant to jump in there, just like, shut up. Oh, I'm telling you.
The world to help improve their governance. We can help them build their economy so they can have job opportunities for these people. You're right. There is no easy solution in the long term to preventing and combating violent extremism. But if
I told you. I know. I commit this stuff to memory, folks. These people have got nothing on me. Nothing. When I tell you it's there, it's there. You can trust me. There you go, right there. Of course they're giving these people jobs. That's exactly what they... This was an official at the Obama administration. They were telling people this stuff out loud. That's what Al-Qaeda needs. Jobs. You know, I was thinking the other day, I would not strap a bomb to myself if I just was gainfully employed. I want to be an electrician. But no, instead I must kill the infidels. No job opportunities, death and destruction. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. These people are stupid. That's who they are. That's the reason why they can't be in control. That's why they cannot. They have no power, should never have power. Morons. All of them. I'm just telling you. Leave it to that person. They hired her. And said, yep, that's our spokesperson, folks, and we're going to put her on television. I can't deal with it. I can't. Anyway, I got to play this. So according to reporting of Catherine Heritage and others, it appears that the Biden administration or Biden and his son, more than likely, were compromised by Chinese intelligence. They were getting money from China. Joe Biden was on the campaign trail denying it. He, even during their first debate, was saying that it was an absolute lie that Hunter Biden had received any money from China. Jake Tapper on CNN years later had to admit Trump was 100% right when he accused them of being compromised by the CCP. But you might remember this very early on in the Biden administration, a conference call with Xi Jinping at the height of COVID. Xi Jinping said something to Biden. And Biden, being a diplomat at that time, could say nothing about it. It had already been rumored, remember, during the debate, that China was in the pocket, or at least Biden's were in the pocket of Chinese dignitaries, whatever the case may have been. So Xi Jinping wisely said this during a conference call that everyone saw.
直接面对面，但也很不错啊，看到老朋友感到很高兴。
Good to see you, Mr. President, and your colleagues.
It's the first time for us to meet virtually. Although it's not as good as a face-to-face meeting, I'm very happy to see my old friend.
I am very happy to see my old friend. Now, earlier in that speech, or that back and forth, Joe Biden had already announced that he was really had dealt with Xi Jinping on more than a diplomatic basis. But there it is, Xi Jinping saying, my old friend, Joe Biden. Well, Peter Doocy took advantage of that at a G7 summit and asked Joe Biden a question about China. And he threw in the old friend line.
You've spoken many times about how you've spent perhaps more time with President Xi than any other world leader. So is there going to become a time where you might call him old friend to old friend and ask him to open up China to the World Health Organization investigators who are trying to get to the bottom of COVID-19?
Now, all he said, any way you're going to get in touch with China, talk to them, old friend to old friend, so they can open up China to the World Health Organization so they can find out the origins of COVID. What was the first thing that Joe Biden said in his answer? He said this.
Something straight. We know each other well. We're not old friends. It's just pure business.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we find out from Catherine Heritage's reporting that, yeah, they were all up in the Biden administration. Oh, they were deep diving. All up in there. Come on. You can't take money from the CCP to the tune of millions and them not have the goods on you. No way. And let's not forget, folks, the China balloon. Come on. Up and away in my beautiful balloon. Remember that? Yeah. All across the United States, everywhere, just taking pictures, you know? Did you take that many pictures on your last vacation? The China balloon took them all. Going over missile silos, taking pictures. Oh, no. It wasn't a reconnaissance balloon. It was a weather balloon, they told us. Remember that? Waited till it went all the way over the United States and then it came in from Alaska, right? Like somewhere near Canada and Alaska, and then came all across the United States and North America, took all of his pictures. Then they told us it was a weather balloon, and then they found out that it was changing direction. Oops. Went over everything, and then it got off the coast of South Carolina, shoot her down. And then we went and got there, and what did we find out? Ow! It's not a weather balloon. Ow! No Doppler radar to be found. Ow! Where's all the surveillance data? Ow! And did he ever ask China about it? Did he ever punish China about it? It's a spy balloon. What did he do? Nothing. Why? Because he could do nothing. Nothing. Because they had him buy the shortened ones. He had him. I'm just saying, folks, you can be mad at me all you want, but your president was compromised. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And I'm only saying your president because, you know, Donald Trump ain't yours. So your president was compromised. Right? And we have the information. We have all of the information that implicates him and his administration, scared to death of China and Xi Jinping and what they would do. We'll talk about it all. We'll have all of the documents. We'll have all of the audio for you tomorrow. Stand by. But we got to go. We got to go and do the Fauci thing before we get up out of here, too. And tomorrow, we'll also get into the DSA and what they're also saying that they're going to do to the United States. Oh, you Democrats. Where's all my Democrats now? I thought you said you guys got this in the bag. The midterm elections. I thought you guys had this in the bag. The DSA says they're getting rid of the Senate, the presidency, ICE, and the jails. And the jails. Where are you going to put all the Republicans? I mean, you are planning on imprisoning us, right? I mean, unless you're going to call them re-education camps. I don't know. Let's take Paul in Plymouth. Hello, Paul.
Oh, please, come on. I'm in hiding. I don't want to be known as Paul from Plymouth anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. What do you want to be known as?
As a straight shooter and a truth teller, and I uncover wrongdoing by local officials and also the police. So I'm a big civil rights and liberties advocate. But where do you think all that money came from in China? From the stupid Americans that are spending it over there.
We're spending money in China? Or are you talking about we're spending them on goods here?
What's that?
We're spending on goods here, is what you're saying, right? Because we're buying all the Chinese goods.
Yeah, I mean, where do you think the money comes from? You know, people have been bashing the Chinese for forever, and yet they're one of our key trading partners.
Oh, I'm not.
How about Canada? How about Canada? He wants to push our strongest trading partner both ways. He wants to push them aside and look for different markets where they don't have to depend on the crazy Trump and his followers.
Well, wait a minute. Wouldn't it be wise to cut those folks off so that we can have things made in the United States and not have to rely on cheap goods from China?
Go all the way back. You'd have to go all the way back.
Wait. Now you're talking about going back in history. Let's just talk about today. Wouldn't it be wise if we actually cornered the market on some of the things that we're buying cheaply in China?
I agree, especially the pharmaceuticals. And remember during COVID, all that shift and everything. And that's been one of the great things that Trump has done, though. I mean, you know, he does understand markets, but there's enough of his sins to go around. Well, he does one good thing and then he sins 5 times. I mean, that isn't a very good.
Well, he's not
very good.
He's not perfect. He's not perfect, nor is any president for that matter. I'll give you that. You said he does one good thing and then he sins 5 times. Hey, I look, again, the guy ain't perfect, but I would say this. The China problem, as you put it, as you laid it out, is 100% right. We've got to cut them off at the knees so that, in essence, we don't have to go to China to actually buy, have things made on pennies on the dollar, so that we can send them here. We've got to make it available for people to make things here in the United States. And trust me, they do. They find ways to do it. So.
Oh, no, they can't compete with the technology of the Chinese and the cars, the $16,000 EVs that they can deliver here when you got all the American companies doing it at 50 and 60.
Hey, listen, if we don't make it available, people don't buy it. That's the way I look at it. But I got to take a break. But, Paul, thank you, man.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Let's take a break. We got more traffic and weather coming up right now. Mark Christopher is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Don't worry, I caught the dump, by the way. I caught him. Mark Christopher is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark. Okay, Joey. I'm doing something that I'm not comfortable with doing, but I'm going to be doing it. Okay? So, yeah, throw the headphones on. You're going to have to, just for this conversation. Okay? Now, I spent my entire life having to deal with soul food as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing this new show called Family Dinner with Reese and Roseanne. Have you seen it yet, by the way, online?
Parts of it.
Okay, you saw some parts of it. Okay. So it's only 20 minutes long. We're going to try to keep it that short. It's, online, it's a hard time for people to keep attention, so we try to keep it like fast and loose. Anyway, so, of course, everybody wants to get in on it, right?
Yeah.
And that's great. So it's like, Reese is going to come by and try our food? Absolutely. So I'm not going to mention where it is yet because I'm not, but I have to say that
somebody selective.
Somebody did this to me on purpose. I know they did. They did it to me on purpose. And I know who did, and it's Adam 12 because he coordinates this stuff. So he's got me next week doing soul food. Now, have you been to a soul food restaurant here in Connecticut?
In Connecticut, no.
No. So you're coming.
Okay.
It's Sunday. You're coming.
Okay.
All right? Because you have never had soul food in Connecticut. I've never had soul food in Connecticut. So we're going to make this an experience for both of us.
Okay.
Okay? So it is next Sunday, and I will call you and let you know. I'm not going to tell anybody where it is yet, but we're just going to film it. It's just going to have at it. I don't know exactly what they serve here. I'm looking at the menu. I haven't really seen anything. But it looks like some stuff I've had before. I'm glad they have, it's great. Chicken is great. Ribs are great. I've got nothing against that. But I know that we're going to go into other places. Say there's chicken and waffles. I don't know. Have you ever had chicken and waffles?
Yeah, I mean, chicken and waffles.
Is that it?
Give me something good. Give me something different.
Chicken and waffle. Wait a minute. So that's a thing that people try and enjoy.
Yeah.
Do you put syrup on the waffles?
You can. I like it with hot honey.
You can?
Like some hot honey.
So you can do chicken with
Where the heck was? There was somewhere. There was a food truck that actually did like chicken and waffle sliders.
No.
Yeah. There was like a little chicken tendy and like take like a Belgian waffle out. It's got the quarters. So
looks
it's
like an Eggo or something.
Yeah, it's like 2 quarters with a little chicken tendy inside. And they put a pickled jalapeno on top, which I was down for.
What? Okay, like I said, a lot of this stuff looks like things I could bear with, but I know there's a collard green somewhere in here.
I'm down with that.
Do you like collard greens?
I'll eat anything. Like I said, I'll eat anything twice. I'm open to all food, all types. I don't know how, because growing up, I was talking with someone about this the other day. Like growing up, it was Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes, pork chops, and pizza. That's it. That was my life growing up.
Lunchroom.
Yeah,
that's lunchroom food.
Now
can
I'm
eat
cooking
that.
like lamb on the grill and like all the other.
Yeah, you got to see Joey's spread. Oh goodness gracious! Don't get me started. We got to get to Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Where's a soul food restaurant you've been to, if any, Mark?
You got to ask Joey.
You haven't been to one either?
I don't think I've
Fine.
been to a soul
You're
food
coming on Sunday, too. If I got to eat it, you do.
Wow.
We're filming my new show is called Family Dinner with Reese and Roseanne.
Right.
So next week we're going to a soul food restaurant. I haven't had soul food since I was a kid.
Really? What is? Give me an
collard
example.
greens, hog maws.
What?
There's another thing. Cornbread.
Oh, I like cornbread.
You like cornbread? Okay.
I like that.
All right, collard greens are one. That's another thing. Usually fried chicken.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So fried chicken, you could probably go with. I'm trying to think. Usually black-eyed peas.
Okay.
That's another one. Very dry bean. Yep. So stuff like that.
All right.
All right. So if you're available Sunday, we want you to come down and have dinner with us as well.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I'll see what's going on my schedule.
You got it.
All right.
It's Reese on the radio, and he's good. Only on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
I don't know if you guys heard this, but I think it's about time we play it.
The single most respected voice in the pandemic, it's Dr. Anthony Fauci.
The man who's become known as America's doctor.
The nation's top infectious disease expert, Anthony Fauci.
You are seen to many as a superhero.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, American hero and New York Yankee fan.
You've done so much for this country in terms of this crisis, so I really appreciate your insight.
Who better to give us answers that we can trust than Dr. Anthony Fauci?
Perfect person to answer our questions today. Joining us now, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, appreciate your candor.
Dr. Fauci, appreciate the candor.
We appreciate your service to this country. We appreciate your service. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
We're honored to have some of your time to help us understand what is going on. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions, so we appreciate your time, sir. We need people to continue to have faith in science. So thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you for being straight with us. Thank you for being able to come on. You will always have this show as a platform.
Sir, whenever you can be here, we'll have you. It's always an honor to have time with you. Thanks for being here.
It's good enough for you, sir. It's good enough for me and my family. So thank you, Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Fauci, thank you for keeping it straight. Thank you for fighting the good fight.
I am sincerely appreciative that you are not walking away from this post. You make us smart.
There you have it, folks. Dr. Fauci. Fauci. He was the guy who had you wearing masks. He was the guy who had you wearing 2 masks. Sometimes he had you wearing 3. Sometimes he had you running out in the street, jogging with masks on. He had many of you driving alone in your car with a mask on. This guy made you close your business. This guy made you stand 6 feet apart from your neighbors or just everyday folks. 6 feet! Stand back 6 feet! Fauci had you snitching on your neighbors. Yeah. Hello, 911. Susie's having a party. They're not socially distancing. You were all a part of it. You were all a part of it, and you told us that Dr. Fauci was a saint. You bought his bobblehead doll. Some of you referred to him as Saint Fauci. I called him the patron saint of runny noses. You laughed at me. Yes, you did. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not a doctor. That's what you told me. You're not a doctor. I told you I'm not an electrician either, but I still know better than to stick a fork in a stupid outlet. You know? I'm not a plumber either, but I know you don't put paper towels in the toilet bowl. I don't have to be a doctor to know that this guy's a whack job. I'm listening to him. Wear the mask. Don't wear the mask. The mask is performative. The mask isn't performative. Sometimes people wear the mask because it makes people feel safe. Some people wear the mask because it is safe. The guy was all over the place. This guy told somebody to have sex with the mask on. You believed him. You did. You did. While the rest of us were skeptics and said, who is this Kermit the Frog-looking guy telling us what to do? You told us, shut up. He knows better. You never even heard of the guy before. He put on a lab coat and he was omnipotent. It's incredible. And now we find out that everything this guy was doing was absolutely crazy and insane. They released what's called the Fauci Diary. Fauci was out here saying so many crazy things. It was just crazy what he was doing. Related records restate and expand what oversight had already known, that the NIAID under Fauci sent millions of U.S. taxpayer money through Eco Health Alliance to the Wuhan lab for bat coronavirus research that meets the definition of gain of function. He repeatedly told Congress under oath that the NIH has never and does not now fund gain of function research, which we know is a lie. The documents that Tulsi Gabbard released through the IC during the 2021 Biden-ordered 90-day origins review, the IC then cited the same experts as independent scientific consensus. Circular reporting, the man whose institute funded the risky research, helped pick the reviewers who cleared it. He also had direct contacts with the CIA, and other agencies on viral research. A contact he later denied under oath in 2024. Fauci was already the highest paid federal employee. He had taxpayer-funded staff, helped prepare and push nominations for cash prizes on foreign awards alone that was up to $900,000 in wire transfer. Hundreds of thousands more in other prizes during COVID years. And he was getting high on his own celebrity. He was getting emails from folks like Dana Bash of CNN who were citing his favorable publicity. He was a made-up rock star with a gravelly voice. And you told us not to question him because he is the science. And turns out he's an absolute fraud. Fraud. Jail isn't good enough for him. I'm just saying. Don't forget about the paintballs being shot at people who are outside their own property in order to get inside of Minnesota. Can't forget it, Michael A. 100% right. Never going to forget that. Talk about the police running around. I mean, ICE agents never shot at people at their homes with paintball guns. Get in your house while they track down illegals. I mean, maybe they should. Socially acceptable in Minnesota. I don't see why it wouldn't be now. In fact, I think I have an idea. Maybe that's what the ICE agent should do. Put up a perimeter with paintballs. Plap, 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 plap. Get back. Get back. Plap, 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 plap. Just start hitting. Plap, 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 plap. Yeah, come on, paintballs. Come on, you can have that or real bullets. I think paintballs work. They should. ICE agents would just build a perimeter around them while they're trying to pick up someone. Catch them a few times. Plap, 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 plap. Stand back, ma'am. No, Marie, get back. Plap, plap. It would be great. I'm just saying. My good friend Thomas is on the line. What's up, big guy? Tom? What did he do? Walk away? He must have put me on hold. That's okay. It happens. Tom calls often enough. He'll call back. So anyway, on tomorrow's program, we got Jason Guidone on the program. We'll talk to him. He's already promoting it on his social media. What else do we have tomorrow? I got to go to the DMV tomorrow. Not happy about that. On Wednesday, we've got TJ Duarte, who just cut his first political ad. We'll talk to him about that. We'll play his ad. He'll be here for Future So Bright at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Chris Shea is coming back to the program. We're going to talk to him. He'll be here at 4 o'clock on Thursday. And George Austin has an event on Thursday. And I wasn't going to go. And now I am. Because I think I have a little bit of business to deal with down there. George, if you're listening, I will be at your event. I'm not going to be a part of it. I know they asked me to be a part of it, but they have another MC that's going to be taking over, but I'm going to go down. There's some people that are going to be there that I really want to hook up with, and sort of hang out and shoot the breeze with. So I'm going to come on down. I know it's all the way down in New Haven, I think it is. So if Austin's team is listening, give me a shout on the address and I will check you out on Thursday. I don't think we have anything else that's planned. Let me get back to the phones real quick before we get out of here. Tom is back. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Reese, I'm well.
What's up?
Hey, I'm so glad you brought up Fauci just now. I was so worried. I was 60 years old, 100 pounds overweight.
Wow.
Thank God I've lost 45, 50. I believed in that con man. Then, like about a year in, I saw somebody on Fox News talking to these two scientists, and they said that Fauci he did good work with the AIDS Project in the 80s. But they said he was furious that the French team of doctors found the gene that started all the cures for the AIDS stuff. And he was so mad that those guys got the publicity that was why he was going hog crazy with the COVID stuff. And I never believed a word he said since that.
Yeah, everything that's coming out about these files with Fauci paints such an ugly picture that is now 40 years old. And it brings up, I was watching a video not too long ago. The gay community was outside of NIH. There's a video of this going around online that was outside the NIH building where they were cursing Fauci out. They hated him in that community because of the way that he was treating AIDS research with every medication that was being put out. He was so admonished by that community, no one even thought to bring it up during this whole COVID thing. And he skated. It took people researching to even find out that this guy had a lengthy history of, just doing god-awful stuff. And I'll tell you, I'll never forgive him for that story I heard about the Beagles. Did you ever hear that story?
Oh, yeah, that's
holy moly. I'm like, when I saw the photographs of the Beagles in the nets, I just went, this guy's insane. This guy made Dr. Kevorkian look like Marcus Welby.
Yeah, you could maybe forgive some in the 1930s or 40s for the animal research, but not nowadays.
Not that, dude. That Beagle thing was just, oh my goodness.
He just wanted fame. He was so mad that the French doctors got the fame on the AIDS that he would do anything for COVID.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's what it is. An ego was driving everything about that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he goes to jail. I really do, Reese.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Like I said, it's like they got to bring him up on charges. I hope he is as healthy as an ox because I want him to spend some time behind bars, man.
Yeah, look, one day and then he could croak. That's fine with me.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Tom.
Bye.
You got it. Yeah, we got to get up out of here, but we'll be back. More news, more views, and, of course, all the stories we didn't get to today, most importantly, about the DSA and their interview with Shannon Bream over the weekend, plus a whole bunch of other stuff, so make sure you're here for that. Deborah says, jail is too good. You might be right there. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. I'm Reese on the radio. You have a good night, pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you back here at 2 p.m. online and everywhere. Have a good night. Mark Christopher is getting you home. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Good night, sir.